Time's up. If you didn't have the time to answer these questions, don't worry, you can do it later. So now we're going to listen to Rachel having a job interview. Of course, she wants to enter to a hospital, and you are going to answer some questions in relation to this listening. So please pay attention.
Okay, Rachel, let's start the interview with a few questions. Your CV says that you're working at City Hospital. Yes, in the operating theaters. Are you a fully qualified scrub nurse? Not yet. At the moment, I'm doing a part-time course and working at the same time. I'm preparing for the exams, which are next month. It is hard, especially when I'm working at night shift and going to lectures next day. Tell us about your job. What do you do every day? Well, I assess the surgeons, I prepare the instruments for surgery, and I help with the operations. What do you like best about being a scrub nurse? Well, I like watching operations, but it's the contact with the patients that's most rewarding. Are you applying for a new job? Well, I'm very happy in my job, but I want more responsibility.
Okay, we have listened these job interview. Now you are ready to answer some questions. The first question is, where is Rachel working now? Number 2, which part of the hospital does she work now? Number 3, why is she looking for a new job? So try to answer these questions in relation to what you have heard. In case that you can't, we will listen to it again.
Okay, Rachel, let's start the interview with a few questions. Your CV says that you're working at City Hospital. Yes, in the operating theaters. Are you a fully qualified scrub nurse? Not yet. At the moment, I'm doing a part-time course and working at the same time. I'm preparing for the exams, which are next month. It is hard, especially when I'm working at night shift and going to lectures next day. Tell us about your job. What do you do every day? Well, I assess the surgeons, I prepare the instruments for surgery, and I help with the operations. What do you like best about being a scrub nurse? Well, I like watching operations, but it's the contact with the patients that's most rewarding. So, why are you applying for a new job? Well, I'm very happy in my job, but I want more responsibility.
So 30 seconds to complete the answers. Okay, so now let's check. Where is Rachel working now? Rachel is working at the city hospital. Did you write that? Very good. Number 2, which part of the hospital does she work now? She works in the operating theaters. Remember that she is a scrub nurse. And number 3, why is she looking for a new job? Because she wants more responsibility. And that was at the end of the conversation, she mentioned that she was looking for more responsibility. Well, now, again, in relation to the listening, you will try to complete the sentences using the words applying for, lectures, night shift, fully qualified, part-time, and rewarding. Okay, you are going to complete the sentences in relation to the listening. You will have 1 minute from now on. Twenty seconds. Okay, time's up. The idea is that you could find the answers, and later, at the end of this video, you can write everything on your copybook, please. So, number 1, are you a fully qualified scrap nurse? Number 2, at the moment, I am doing a part-time course and working at the same time. Number 3, it's hard, especially when I'm working a night shift and going to lectures next day. It's the contact with the patients that's most rewarding. And number 5, why are you applying for a new job? So that are the answers. And now you have your personal job. You are going to prepare for a job interview. Remember that someday, sooner or later, we are going to meet again at school. And the idea is that we can continue with this task. You imagine that you are applying to a job in a very important hospital or clinic. It depends on what you want. The first step is to prepare the answers to possible questions that you will ask about. So in your copybook again, you will answer these 4 questions, of course in English. Number 1, why do you want this job? Here you mention the reasons why you are applying to this job. Some of the answers could be personal improvement, more responsibilities, that kind of things. Number 2, what do you expect from this job? And here you can mention, for example, professional growth or be part of a nice team, for example. What do you want to find here? Number 3, what are your strengths? Strengths are related to your positive characteristics that you really think are positive for the job. For example, could be the ability to work in team, responsibility, punctuality, positive aspects. And number 4, what are your main weaknesses? It has to do with characteristics in yourself that needs improvement. For example, it could be perfectionist. Sometimes in a job, being perfectionist is something is is seen is a weakness, um, because you are not really tolerating frustration, right? So that is the idea. You will answer these 4 questions in your copybook, thinking about that someday we will find again at school, and I'm going to ask you these questions orally. All right? And that's it. I hope that you enjoy this lesson. And the idea is that we can also develop other kinds of abilities, not only reading comprehension, but also listening and writing through the questions in relation to the job interview that you are going to develop in your copybook. Okay, again, um, the idea is that you can do these activities in a time that you feel comfortable with it, and everything in your copybook. Okay, um, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate on writing me an email. I'm really glad to hear news from you. And that's it. In the next opportunity, we will continue with the development of unit number 1. I send you a huge hug. I hope that everything is okay at home, and see you soon. Bye.